Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer, so let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Thinking that you're going to be talking this episode a lot?
I don't.
Okay, so I just want you to know I've known Leah for a very long time.
I know.
Okay?
I do know.
And I can't have your fan queer eyes the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Welcome to Kill Me Now with I'm the host, Judy Gold, and Lauren is also here. And our guest, all right, I have to say, I've known our guest for quite a long time. I've seen her breasts. I've seen a lot of her, actually. And
humble brag.
I just heard some feedback from the office next door, but we'll work that out. She's fucking, I probably love her for different reasons than everyone else loves her right now. But she's fucking a ball. And I mean ball of talent. This woman is fucking amazing. An icon. I can't. Let me just say that I work out to her singing at the gym. Okay? How fucking queer is that? Ladies and gentlemen, the Lea Delaria! Woo! Lea Delaria's on Kill Me Now.
Oh my God.
I know, isn't that so queer?
That's like the queerest thing I've ever heard.
But you
Although
are...
I want to say that I prefer daikon.
Okay, daikon.
I always tell my fiance, she's a lesbian, I'm a daikon.
Oh, I like that.
You're both ridiculous.
Oh,
did you hear something?
I heard...
Do you have a ghost?
I have something.
I can't tan.
Okay. Too much already. Anyway, Lea, I'm so happy
Hi,
you're here.
Judes.
You're one of my dream guests because I feel we have a lot of rage.
Yeah,
and yet,
fuck yeah.
And yet we are really smart, so we know how to deal with it
Right.
without going into a movie theater,
Right.
Or a church. Now, here's what I have to say. I'm going to start with my Kill Me Now moment of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
This was a Kill Me Now moment, even though it doesn't have anything to do with me. But I went to get my hair cut today by Eve. And as I'm leaving, I see a Muslim woman, completely head covered.
So was she all covered like burqa?
No, it was half.
Well, then she deserves to be harassed.
Right,
If she's not
but-
wearing the full burqa.
No, it
she
was
gets
just
the catcalls.
the top part.
Just the headdress.
Yes.
Okay.
Headdress.
Nuns call that a wimple. I have no idea.
Yeah,
what.
wimple.
Let's call it a
And
wimple.
it's a wimple. And she sat on the couch while her two daughters got their hair done by a really fancy hairdresser in a really fancy salon.
Yes. And they're just going to put.
Right. And the whipple will be going on the nipple. I don't understand. Like, does she sit there? Like, she can't fucking show her hair, and yet she's paying how much money for her daughter's hair to look beautiful?
Until they're a certain age, though, right?
Right, but it makes it harder for her to have to put on the whipple tipple.
Do you think
Right?
so? I don't know.
When she gets older, the
Yeah,
daughter.
I would think so. I don't know. Do Hasidic Jews feel the same way?
Oh,
Do they not want
please.
to put that wig on?
I went to buy a coat many years ago. It was right after it was right when I got All American Girl with Margaret.
Right.
So I finally had a paycheck.
Yes.
And I went with my ex, Sharon, to this store.
Wait a minute, is that her name?
Wendy and Schwendy, and she goes, we're going to the
That's
store.
how long we know each
I
other.
know. And so we went to the store, in the fabric district, whatever the fuck, with the needle and the button. And
Fashion district.
yeah, the fashion.
There you go.
I'm so menopausal. Anyway, so we go to the fashion district, and I'm going to buy this long shearling coat that I still have, by the way. And it's like, at that time, it was like $2,500. I mean, it was like a lot of money. Almost, maybe it was discounted. By
course.
the Hussids,
Of course.
It's not in a showroom. It's in a,
right,
fucking Loman's thing.
Right.
And so it's like $2,000. And, I have to do the Jewish, do I deserve it? I don't deserve it. I don't deserve
Hilarious.
it. There's homeless people. I shouldn't have a coat. Like on and on and on. This was before pre-antidepressants. And so, this whole dialogue is going. And they come over, the wigs.
Right.
And so I literally say, oh God, I didn't say, oh God. I probably was like, oh God, I'm sorry, but whatever, because I said, oh God, in front of them. But I was like, look, well, I deserve it, right? I work really hard, and I'm having the whole fucking conversation out, and the woman's like, what do you do? Because they have a fake accent after, like they grow up in Brooklyn normal, and then like the guys, especially, they're 23, and then you bump into them, they become like Hussids, and it's like, how are you? Oh, thank God, in my hip, and I'm like, you're 23, so what the fuck, right? So she's got that,
The fake accent.
And she's like, what do you do? I don't even know where the fuck it is. And I said, oh, I'm a comedian, and I'm on a TV show. Oh my God, what is that like? And she starts telling me how she sneaks out sometimes and meets these friends who aren't Chassids to go to the movies. And she's
my God.
asking me, what is it
for
like?
her.
And I have 59 kids, and I don't want this, but this is the way it is, and I can't believe, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm buying the fucking coat.
Buy the coat.
Buy the fucking
Buy the
coat.
coat. Jesus Christ.
Got you.
Yeah, buy the coat.
Well, it was just like, well, I'm worried about spending $2,000 for a coat that I
the coat.
still have.
Yeah.
She got you.
No,
And she's like, I can't go to the movies. And I
Yeah.
have 46 kids.
Let me tell you
That's
how much
terrible.
shit has changed. This is how much shit has changed. I could not believe what just happened to me. I went to the TCAs, the Television Critics Association. They have the the up front.
Right.
So there was a panel, and it was.
Oh, you didn't do a big, coming out of a cake? Like,
No.
Some of the shows, it's always
know.
the bad shows
That do that
That
shit.
have, like, at that thing. Like,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
No, this is the one where you bring your panel out and you sit down and the light there, you're introduced, the lights come on, nobody applauds. Nobody. They're just there to ask you questions. They have a half an hour to ask the questions,
And they're so important.
So exactly. So they're. I mean, literally, it took 30 seconds for someone to ask a question, which is just a really long time for people to be sitting in silence. And of course, me and Latasha Leone just burst out
love her.
laughing.
Yeah.
We just start laughing. So anyway, after this thing, right, I'm walking around in the hotel where this event is, and Netflix is plastered everywhere because it's our event that day, right? And I'm starting to go up the stairs. I'd gone to the bar, and I was like carrying a drink up to my room, and I started walking up the stairs, and there's a Hasidic Jewish family standing there. Right? But the modern Hasidims, you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, they have Lubavitch, which doesn't have the hat and the fucking wool coat when it's 150 degrees. Those
And,
are
like,
Hasidim.
The
but
girl is
yeah.
the daughter was definitely of age, but had a
Right.
short dress on. I mean,
Right.
like that. So it was interesting.
So modern,
but still,
yeah.
modern, but still Hasidic. And the woman chases me. The daughter chases me up the stairs and goes, "Are you on Orange Is the New Black?"
Okay, they're not Hasidic.
Yes,
if
they
she
were.
said that, they got to
That's
be
what I'm
another
telling you.
sect.
Wait,
they have to. Yeah.
Wait. Beyond that, the mother pushed her son to stand next to me and
took
like
a photo?
complete
No.
stranger of a woman and took a picture of us all together.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Okay, they're modern Orthodox then. And
They're
the
not.
fact,
No, they
did
weren't.
the husband even know what the fuck was going on?
There was no husband. I did not know where the husband was. So I think it was all going on behind his back.
Oh, I love
that's what
that.
I'm saying.
They stay at work all day until a certain time, and then they all come home at once.
But you know,
Right.
I know
And they have prostitutes.
I know the difference between Orthodox and
Yeah, I
Hasidic.
know. You're very
Trust,
smart.
These were Hasidic
That's
Jews.
fucking
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh,
By the way,
sorry.
I know you're going to be totally grossed out by what I'm going to say.
Doubt it. Maybe. It takes a lot to gross me out.
Okay.
Tell me that you sucked a dick on the way in, smell my breath. Other than that, I think I'll be fine.
I know we both have no boundaries, which is why we've been friends for so long. But I have to tell you, listening to Henry and Ben talk about you on Orange is the New Black, it's too much for me.
It's hilarious.
Just knowing that they watched you put on a fucking dildo.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And it's like, yeah, it's really good. She's really good. Yeah, she's really good. I'm like, what the? I can't.
How about the screwdriver?
Yeah, I know
watch you
the
masturbate to
screwdriver.
orgasm.
Oh my
That
God.
was great. The dog.
Yeah, the dog one's pretty good, too.
Was one of the best.
At least this season they let me have sex with a human.
I know.
Not an inanimate object.
I know.
You know, I'm
it's
like,
so good. It's so groundbreaking. Wait, but I don't want to get
and
to
you know
that
it's
yet.
my fault because after we did the screwdriver scene, when the writers were like, they gave me the dog. Lauren, who wrote my episode, has written a lot of episodes where I'm heavily involved. Lauren just writes really well for me. That's Samira's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Lauren gets. So I'm like standing there, and she goes, "We're trying to figure out what to do with the, blah 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 to do." And I went, "I'm not having sex with a Zog. I am not." I literally said that at the next fucking script.
No.
Yeah.
I have to tell you.
It's completely my fault.
So, what's her name? Samira goes to my gym.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't give a shit but I said, hey, I saw you at this. She was at a logo thing I was at.
Yeah.
I'm really good friends.
Yeah,
with
I was
Lea.
there too. Remember?
Yeah.
We
Yes,
were all
I
sitting
said
at the same table.
right, but I said I'm really good friends with Leah. Blah, and she looks at me like. Meanwhile, I was in total dyke workout mode, and she looks at me like I'm gonna. I said, "Oh, do you live in the area? Because I live across the street." And she was like, "Get the and I'm like, it was sort of like what? And I'm like,
It's hilarious.
how can you be a lessee and not know who I am?
I'm really sorry. Honey.
I know, but yet, I'm the last thing I am is scary. Oh, well, I guess that's not true.
Well, now with all due respect, Judy, you're fucking frightening.
Okay.
And I'm Italian, so when I say all due respect, the minute I say all due respect, then that
Right.
means all bets are off, and I can say whatever I want to.
Right.
I mean, besides being a
with all
slut,
due
you're also
respect.
scary.
I know, I am
so,
slutty.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sorry, I don't.
Like, if
inside,
I didn't
I'm not,
know you-
but inside, it's just a fucking mushball,
Yeah.
just like you.
right.
You know,
You're both. You're
Little
both.
mush balls.
we're not. We are only
You've got a crispy outer shell and a creamy
I
sweet
am
center.
hearing
Where's that coming
some
from?
feedback, some sort
Maybe
of.
we're bleeding into another show.
I don't know. Is there?
Very weird.
Can someone get? Okay.
I'm checking
So,
that.
but like you, the vulnerability is only shared with a handful,
very handful of people.
handpicked.
Yeah.
Now, I want to
Well,
talk.
now it's become 60 million for me because
I know.
they've all seen me cry on camera
Right.
now.
Isn't that great, though?
So crazy.
All right, listen, you fucking lesbo. I want to talk about stuff that a lot of people probably don't know about you. First of all, you grew up with a jazz musician father.
Yep.
Who was also a social worker.
Yeah, because when the work dried up, which it did in the 60s,
Like
he
my
made
vagina?
it,
Yeah. In your 60s,
That's
the
hard for
work
me to-
it dries up.
that's hard for me to believe because
that's true.
I smell it over here, and
it does never
and
dries
then
up.
boom.
It is really not dry. Go.
How is it that you're in menopause and your vagina hasn't dried up?
I have I had my period last week for a week.
I'm so sorry. When was the last time you had it before that?
The month before. But then I went like 3 months.
She's actually
Yeah.
pre-menopause.
Well, this is what happened to me. I didn't have my period for 8 months, and then I got 2 in 1 month.
I had that happen.
So annoying, and it was the day after Taryn Manning asked me, "What's going on with your period? Are you what's?" Because
Right.
she knows how old I am, and she was just curious, and I said, "I think it might be over." The next day, I got my period.
I know.
And then 14 days later, I got another
I did
one.
that yes.
And let me tell you, if I could have tied Taryn Manning up to a train and let it drag her down the tracks, I
Right.
would have done it. But it has now been over a year. That was the
Oh,
last,
that's it.
that
You're
was the
done.
last. I might be done.
Mazel tov.
I might be done. Well, my gal says if it's 2 years, you got to wait 2 years.
My fucking OBGYN,
Yeah.
who went to medical school,
Yeah.
it's a year. Listen,
Okay. Well, my gal also is she's just a doctor, but she's qualified to do what she does.
I need to hang out with her. I need to.
Well, you know, I have an army of Jews. You know me. I'm the Jew
Yes,
magnet.
yes.
As I'm fond of saying, if you are what you eat, I'm a Jew.
Yes.
So,
I ditto.
and she but I want to go back, but I have to say, you'll see when we post it that Leah is wearing an Edie Sedgwick
yes.
T-shirt, and if you don't know who Edie Sedgwick is, just fucking Google it, idiots.
You know, and if you don't know who Edie Sedgwick is, how about just jump out an open window? How
Right.
about getting fucking informed in your life? Are you
So
fucking
Kira
kidding me?
Sedgwick is her cousin.
I know.
From the
From
next
another mother.
generation. Yeah. So, oh my God, you know what we said to Henry and Ben last night?
What did you
Wait,
say?
did you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren
it's
said it.
yours.
This other person that comes in and out,
Right.
Says
I write for Judy once
we
in
were
a while.
talking about Henry and Ben, and I was asking Ben because they're very different, you know,
Completely.
yes, and Ben
It's
is
like, are they from the same,
right,
gene
and
pool?
they're
What
not.
the fuck? They're not.
but they are brothers from another mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, listen, but they're brothers, like they're tied at the hip.
both
Oh
Anyway,
my God! Please forget about it.
all right. So
I've seen them.
You have a lot of similarities.
Remember when
Bing.
Ben didn't want to be called Ben anymore? And he
No,
wanted-
that was Henry.
Oh, it was Henry. That's
No,
all. What did Henry want to be called?
He only in my act. He watches. He watches Law and Order constantly. SVU is his, and for years. And so he says to me, and to the point where you
That he
can't
wants to be
fight with
Elliot?
him. Well, every time we have a fight, that's false. That is false. I'm like, Henry, when you fight with your mother, it's shut the fuck up. Not that is false. And
false.
it's I hate you. Not that is false. Or you're a lie. So anyway,
It's hilarious.
so he decides that this was, I don't know, 5 years ago. He does not want me to speak about him in his act, and he's going to get a cease and desist letter. This is all from Law and Order because So he said, why can't you just use another name? So I said, okay, what name? And he says, Jerome. Which I'm
Jerome.
thinking is some person on SVU. So
not.
that night, we're in P-Town. And, of course, I have to go on stage and tell this whole story. And then I had him, child labor. He would sell CDs and stuff, and we'd go out for ice cream after the show.
That was
and,
his pay.
Yeah, no, well, I would pay
Remember
him
what I made?
I know, you
told you to
fucking
give them a raise.
asshole!
I was such an asshole.
I was paying him like 10 an hour, and Leah's
And I
like
went,
20. I pay 20.
I pay my guys 20. But I actually did.
I know, but I was like, fuck you, Leah.
asshole.
And I had to pay him 20. Anyway, I mean,
And
the
then
kid's
you
like,
became the cool uncle.
the kid's like 10 years old.
I've
Let me-
always been their cool uncle. There's no two ways about
anyway,
Hell yeah.
so I get on stage that night and I tell the whole Jerome story, and then everyone
so
comes
funny.
out to buy a CD, and they're like, "Hey,
it.
Jerome." And then we'd walk down the street, and is that Jerome? And I'm like, "Fuck!" So he got really pissed at me.
Oh,
he
man.
did not
in
talk to
so
me.
much trouble.
But he's the
So
kind
much
of
trouble.
like, he knows all the drag queens. So, we would, and he knows that they hate, you cannot call them their real name when they're in drag.
Yeah.
My favorite is Dina. Trying to talk
Yeah.
to Dina when she's in full. And
I know.
Even if she knows you, she will not answer
She
to
won't.
Grady, and she will remain in total and utter
I
character.
know. But
once though, Dina was really mad at someone on the street, and this is the first time and only time I've ever seen her do it. So Dina had the postcard that had her mouth on it. So she was holding the postcard up to her lips and then going, "That fucking son of a bitch just came up to me and I wish I could fucking kill him." But it was all behind the postcard.
It's so funny 'cause
and only quiet enough for me to
Right.
hear. I was dying. I couldn't stop
well,
laughing.
Varla would walk down the street, and Henry
B.
would be like, "Jeff, hi," and he, it was just anyway. But the point
Hilarious.
is, so you had this this jazz singer father,
Right.
Siblings?
Oh, we're back to me now. Okay.
Yeah, siblings.
Hello, Catholic,
Right.
Italian Catholic, Sicilian. Of
and
course,
went
there
to
were
like
siblings.
St. Mary's.
I
of
went to St. Mary's of Belleville.
Right.
Yeah.
And you grew up.
In the mob.
This is what I'm talking about. I had the fucking sentence, and you have to ruin it.
You had too much time in between.
It wasn't. I have pregnant pauses.
there's
For me, too much
Yes,
time
but
for
you have
my-
to understand what timing. The most
right.
important thing in comedy is timing, and sometimes a really long pause means a really funny punchline. was
Right.
coming.
And so you need to trust me when there's dead air. It's okay. Now,
How was that?
yeah, see, you really got to chill.
all right, listen.
Okay.
So you grew up
Yes. Allegedly.
I know. But
Allegedly.
we have to talk about this because I've never talked about this with anyone.
About what?
You grew up with my massage therapist neighbor across the hall, Carolyn.
Oh,
Dyer.
Carolyn Dyer.
And I'm just going to give you some examples of Carolyn.
She's insane. I love her, but she's a nut job.
Okay, same. I love her.
I love her, but she's a total nut job.
At her wedding.
But so am I. So
No.
you know?
But this is crazy.
Okay.
At her wedding, first of all, she had a dog, Chance. She still has Chance. And I literally, one night, I thought, and I said this at her wedding, I thought she was going to marry Chance. And so she lives across the hall. I live right by the elevator, and so does she. And I literally, and she talks really loud. So if I meditate, I'm like, I got to fucking start again. Anyway, she'll go stand by the door. It's like a loud conversation. And I once heard her say to Chance, "Don't give me that look again." Then I heard her say, "Don't smile at me like that." And I'm like, There it is, and the best massage therapist ever in the world.
She's never massaged me. I've never let her. I can't.
Why?
Because I've known her since we're 12. I can't.
Okay, you can't, but I'll tell you, it
mayn't.
will be the best massage you have ever had.
All right.
Anyway, whatever. And she doesn't talk. Like, she doesn't shut up. And during the massage, not a fucking word.
Well, good. I hate when they talk to you.
Oh, fuck. That's a
Fucking
kill
makes
me now.
Seriously.
Kill me now moment.
When massage therapists and Uber drivers talk to you.
my
It's like, I don't want to have a
God.
conversation. Here's my fucking credit
And
card.
if we're gonna
Get me
have-
from point A to point B.
We're going to have a conversation. I'm going to start
Let
it.
me fucking start
and
it.
I'm leading it.
Exactly. You know, I'll have a conversation with you if you're a really hot babe.
Right, but the other
I'll
thing...
even sit in the front seat. But no.
Right, it's like having a co-host on your radio show, on your podcast.
With terrible timing.
So, all right, so you grow up, you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Now, you knew you were, I knew I was a lesbo when I was
don't know, 4?
2,
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
4. I
seriously.
was like, nope,
I'm not sure I can remember much before 4, so I'm going to go with 4. But I always remember being that way.
Right, and I remember...
Maybe
I don't know
in
why
utero.
I remember
Maybe
3.
we knew in utero.
And you don't really know what it is until you go through adolescence.
Right.
Like, when people say it's a choice and you're like, it's not a fucking choice. No. That's where I went through that's what...
A choice is what you have when you go to the palm and they talk about you have a choice of 2 sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you have to say the palm? Couldn't it be Chipotle and what the fuck you want on your goddamn burrito?
I love the palm.
I know, I do too.
Why did I have to say the palm? Fucking love the palm.
So, you are in this Catholic...
Yeah.
And it's so interesting that I've read a lot about you and that the hardest thing for you, and you have been out... early 80s?
Yeah, I started as a
comic in 82. Right.
And I was openly gay as a comic. Yeah.
And, it's interesting because when I started doing comedy mid-80s, and I became friends with Margaret Smith.
Right.
Who, brilliant. And we
Couldn't
went
be
to
more
Chicago together.
Did you two do it? Did you do it?
No, but I had a crush on her so bad.
Me too. Back then, absolutely.
I had, and so did Rosie, because I remember Margaret was staying with us. This is way before Rosie was famous, and she came because they were going out on I don't know what, but I was like, oh. But Margaret, I never cheated.
Like,
you know how I am.
30-year-old gossip.
I know, but you know
Hilarious.
how I am. I am Miss Loyal,
Yeah.
and I would never cheat. But she was.
Even with me pushing you to cheat, how often did I push you to cheat?
I know, and I never cheated. It was like pied.
Honey, yeah, never. And you could have had.
I know.
You could have had pussy galore. You could have had pussy coming out of your ears, and you would never cheat, ever.
You got to tell Lisa that, who's jealous of it. All right. Anyway,
Lisa, trust. You got nothing to worry about.
So
I've seen the hottest of hot babes come on to Judy and nothing from Judy.
I know it's bad.
She doesn't even know they're coming on to her.
I know that's the part.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding
I
me?
know.
What kind of lesbian are you?
And
you don't understand women at all.
The thing is, someone could be literally eating me out, and I'd be like, "Do you think that person's attractive to me?"
Are they just being nice?
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
All right. So here you are. You're Catholic, and you become. Now, did you ever go to gigs with your father?
No, they came to see me perform.
Right.
I never went to gigs. Oh, you mean as a jazz singer did I go with him? When I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah. And that was probably... Did any of your siblings want to go with him as much as you?
No. Actually, nobody wanted to... None of my siblings ever wanted to be that. I was the only one that ever wanted to be like that. Yeah.
Same.
So, they were all musical. All my siblings are indeed very musical, but none of them ever wanted to do anything really with it.
Right.
They weren't... obsessed with entertainment like I was from a very early age.
Right. Okay. So you go through Catholic school. Mm-hmm. You become a performer in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And, let me tie in this Margaret story. And I remember you, and you were Butch from the Start.
Always.
That should be a song. Butch from
the Start.
That's your new album, your book, Butch from the Start.
Oh, that's a one-person show.
And I went to Chicago with Margaret, and she had all these. I'm a new lesbo,
right?
And I'm not a new lesbo, but I'm like hanging out with lesbos. Finally, I'm out of college. I'm like, fuck, shit, crap, And so we go to this gig in Chicago in her girlfriend's bar, and we're doing stand up, and it's dykey dykdom, butchy butchness, and. I was
at Margaret Smith's show,
and so I am.
What?
And I'm like,
how is that possible?
And I did why do they have to dress like I did the? Why do they have? Which is the first internal homophobia thing you have. And she said to me, and this got rid of it in an instant. She said to me, "You know what, Judy? They don't have to explain who they are. They don't hide who they are. They make it easier for you." Because they're walking around. Here I am.
Did Margaret Smith say that?
Yes. They make...
I now am officially in love with her.
Yeah,
good for
she
Margaret.
said, they make...
I've never met her. We've never met. Never met.
Oh, I got it. We got to do a thing where you meet her.
You are the trifecta.
Yeah. So I said to her, I said, "You're right." And I started looking at them, and they were fearless. And they... they walked around, like you said, you were a carpenter and you loved your tool belt,
Oh, yeah.
And they walked around, and there was everyone knew. It was like, you couldn't hide it. It was like gay men during the AIDS crisis. They couldn't be in the closet anymore. And it completely, I want to say thank you to those women in the 70s who walked around with fucking hairy armpits and butch dyke clothes and... I don't know. All right, so that I got over that quickly. And you were, I remember because we started working in P-Town. Well, I don't know, you started in the late 80s.
No, early 84.
80, and I started going there in 86.
So I was already
87.
I was already entrenched.
Yeah, and I was just I had started stand up first time was in college in like 82, and then I did it and then I stopped. I mean, it's been over 30 years, but you were one of the, and I remember you at the beach. We'd go to Herring Cove Beach in Provincetown, and Leah, we all had to do this. We all flyered. We had to hand out our flyers, and everyone was topless. And Leah has these nipples that look at each other.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, look at Leah's nipples. I love you. And you handed me a flyer, and I'm like, oh my God, your nipples are like talking to each other. I love it. And I
must have laughed my ass off.
And we were in such good shape from that weren't you in really good shape? Your legs were, my legs were.
From walking up and down the beach?
Yes. Fucking A.
Yeah.
So, and I loved going to Provincetown, but then I needed to, perform there. Right. And Phyllis.
Are we talking about, Schlossberg? Huh?
Phyllis Schlossberg, who owned the post office and was the first one to
Listen,
have
you know
cabaret.
what would be really that screwdriver?
Let me tell you.
It's too yellow. It's too yellow.
Leah, you got listen, you only have 20
Whatever she would do
reservations.
to-
I can't have the club
I
open if you only have 20 reservations. You got to get out there and back. You got to buck. I'll have another one. I'll have another one, darling. Darling, listen, Leah, I think
when
you're
I
funny,
first-
but you have 15 people in the order. I don't know.
We're going to get in so much
Diane!
trouble
I
for
know.
this story, but I have to tell you this
Okay,
story.
go.
She was the one that brought me to Provincetown
Right.
at the Pilgrim House. So this is 1984, and her and Diane lived in the apartment on the very top of the Pilgrim House.
Yes.
And it was a very steep flight of Dutch stairs to get in the apartment, and we
Okay.
we had a pool. You know how at work, if a woman's pregnant, you have a pool. What day
Right.
she's going to give birth.
Right.
Well, if you worked there, they had a pool. And one day, Phyllis would fall down the stairs. So mean.
I can't.
I'm sorry, it's so mean, and I can't stop laughing at it. But one year she fell down. She fell down in July, so we had another pool because we were sure she was gonna fall down
At the end of the stairs.
and she did.
Who won the pool?
Richard Weinstock.
Oh,
Who's no
always
longer
the
with
Jew,
us.
Yeah,
Always Richard
Diane's no.
I know she passed
Phyllis's
away. Diane
Wife
passed
passed away, and Danny McWilliams. Now we
What did Danny
listeners,
McWilliams
I will
do?
tell you, but the listeners must realize you're going to hear
Danny's
something.
funny.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
that you have to realize, and most people don't. Comics will say things to one another that they
we
will
never
never
say to anyone else.
even our dearest, closest loved ones.
Yeah.
He
It is
says-
my life's mission to get Kate Clinton to say on stage the things she says to
I
me
know,
off
right,
stage.
right.
Go ahead. Anyway.
So they were, Phyllis, although, someone who began bringing really funny, gay, talented people.
Really
no,
nothing?
we're giving.
We want you to take
There's a
the
photographer here, and we're
That's why I
giving
was
her the
going,
finger, trying to tell her to take a picture. And she
of
puts
us
the fucking camera
She
down like
thinks
we're
we're
mad.
serious. Are you fucking kidding? Take a picture.
Oh God, hurry up!
God, Jesus, this is dead air.
What are you, a perfectionist?
Fucking
All right.
fuck.
Anyway, so.
Danny McWilliams said.
So they were drunks, and Diane was slobbering. Like, it was so bad because she would sit at Phyllis's club in the back and try to pick you up after your show. Oh, gee, it's so talented. I mean, I never met her as funny as you. And then she would fall down the stairs in the back, and it was awful. And she ends up passing, probably from she had cancer, but I'm sure it was alcoholism did not help.
Right.
And Danny McWilliams, please don't send me hate mail. Danny McWilliams says. Now you have to understand, Phyllis was very overweight.
Oh, no.
So Danny McWilliams says, "Oh, Diane died. That's the best 150 pounds that Phyllis lost." I mean, and meanwhile, they were just the most dysfunctional, drunk, and
my
yet
God.
Phyllis was so smart.
It was the Coke, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
so
that was-
anyway,
that kept him going because
Nice.
the cocaine just kept
Yeah.
him going. It was the 80s.
So
Oh my God, you're killing me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So Leah, Leah, all right. So I love your. I mean, the thing I really adore about you is your singing. I love your voice. Is so I can't even. You're incredible.
Thanks.
And which is what makes you so fun. The timing is, because I was a music major.
Right.
Yes, and the timing is very important.
Yeah.
Pregnant pause.
What's timing?
Exactly.
What is
and
timing?
God, I'm so funny. I need to get someone to co-host who's also funny. You know what I mean?
Is that
So
Japanese?
I read that your father's a jazz musician and a social worker. What kind of social work did he do?
He would, he'd go to people's homes and, social
counsel
worker,
them.
counsel, all that.
And here you are, you're in San Francisco, literally getting on stage. Hi, I'm a big dyke. That was your
fucking dyke. I used
fucking
to,
dyke. That's right.
I was a fucking dyke.
Right. And
big dyke didn't happen until
everyone
the 90s.
you know knows that you're gay.
Right.
And yet the most difficult thing and painful thing for you was coming out to your parents.
You must have read The Style Like You, our video, or seen that this week.
Oh, I have seen that, but I
read.
read some other articles.
Yeah.
And the fact that here is a musician, a jazz musician, who's obviously exposed to
everything.
And yet this Catholicism
Yeah.
and theology, I mean, is over. I mean, do you think, had your parents not been so religious and so tied to
I would have
this,
come out of them immediately.
but do you think your father would have had a different life?
I don't know. I got to say, don't know. That's a interesting question. He married my mother very young.
Right.
But that's what people did in their generation.
Were they
Do you
in
know
love?
What I mean? Oh, absolutely. But that's what people did in their generation.
Right, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Except for
We're
my
talking
parents.
about the late 40s, just after World War II. People got married when they were 18 fucking years old.
My parents were, God, how old were they? 38 and 31.
Wow.
That's not young.
Why?
Because my mother didn't meet the right person, and she hadn't met the right person. And my father was in World War II, and he had a girlfriend in he was there during Blitzkrieg. He had a girlfriend in London, and he came back, and he didn't want to marry her. I guess he just didn't. And my mother had been asked to be married before, and she said no. And they met, and they got married late, and in their 60s. And my father kept in touch with this woman in London. She never married. And
that's kinda cool.
she came to America. They were in their 60s. And
Did they have a three-way?
I don't know. I think my father, I don't know what the prostate.
Hope so.
She came over for dinner, and my mother at some point during one of their ridiculous arguments said, not a lot of wives would let the ex-girlfriend come over for dinner.
That is so cute.
And it's like I knew they loved each other and were so attached to each other, but it was just, Lauren heard me speak to my sister yesterday.
Right.
And literally, my siblings and I have been really talking since my mother passed and died. I had Dick Cavett on last week, and I got to tell you, I hate past. I never said it until, and now, and he's like, I hate it, what did he say? He said, someone said, oh, he passed, and I said, and then they died. She's dead, okay? And so my sister calls, we're in the car, because I had to get a shot in my knee.
Right.
And,
What? Never mind. We'll talk
I
about
have
the
the fucking
lesbian knee
shit.
surgery
Yeah.
later.
Oh, my God! Okay. And so my call my sister, and she's like, hello. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. And then I said, have you heard from Mom? And my sister's like, no, she hasn't called me in like a month. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I haven't heard from him either. And I'm like, and I said,
heard from Dad either.
yeah. And I said, do you think they ran away or something? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe we're going to have a younger brother or sister. I mean, it just went on. And this is like normal conversation.
Brilliant.
Because we can't say, I miss Mommy, I miss
this is
Daddy.
it. Yeah.
So we do the, it's my birthday and no one called thing. It's
Oh yeah,
us.
they're a double act and they commit.
Okay. So what was Carolyn like, my massage therapist like in high
She
school?
was crazy. We were all crazy in high school, though. I mean, that you have to understand.
But did you think that she was extra crazy?
No, no
Okay.
more crazier than me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there are people that think I'm certifiable with the shit that I
Really?
pull. Yeah,
I don't
sure
know
there
why.
are.
All right,
And-
so, all right, let's go back. So now, here you are. You came out. What was so difficult about that conversation coming out? Because here you are. You're a daikon, and there's kids out there listening. And even for someone who is so fearless and so out, and I always say to kids, once your parents know, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Because I knew our relationship was going to change. I knew
Right.
that there was going to be a difficult transition that we were going to have to go through. And I knew it was going to be really, really difficult for them. And we had become we were pretty tight. Do you know what I
right,
mean?
of course.
After I left home, we were tight. We talked to each other all the time. And I just knew that as soon as I had this conversation with them, everything was going to change. And it did.
But it didn't change on your part.
Never on my part.
But did you feel
That's
that
the
it was
difference.
disingenuous for years because you didn't tell
No,
them?
I never feel that way. I
Okay.
mean, you have to understand that the entire basis of the Catholic religion, the entire religion is based on the simple fact that if you ignore something,
Right.
it will go away. So as long as this thing was not spoken, it didn't really exist. So how could I possibly, have that relationship be disingenuous then?
Or they'd make it disappear. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because I was at services. I go to very liberal, like everyone goes to synagogue.
There's
and-
guitars? Are there guitars?
Oh my God, music, black people, white people, Asian people. It's like amazing.
Right.
And so the rabbi, they were talking about, I think it was actually at Shiva, and the rabbi came and we were talking about how the Jews say, the Christians and Catholics will say, do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Right.
And the Jews say, don't do unto others what you don't want done to you.
Yeah.
And every time we have a holiday, there's always a little thing commemorating the temple being destroyed, or
Yeah.
we even have one holiday that's all about all the destructions and shit done to the Jews. And he said, why do we mention this at weddings and times? And he said it's not a negative thing. It's to remember that we got through that. And so when we were going through the grieving process, and he's like, we do bring up these things, not because you don't want to forget them. And you want to use it as, you know what? I was down in shit and I survived. We survived. We did it. But
And still
and and it's just like the silence equals death sign
Yeah.
of the 80s, which was
Which
if you don't
basically means that you hate mimes.
You mime hater.
I don't like mimes. Anyway, so you had that. Now, how did it change? What happened?
I just couldn't do it anymore. It was ludicrous. I
Right.
mean, it was ridiculous. I had been at this point. I had already been performing in Provincetown
Right.
for like 3 years.
But how did they
I was
not
touring
know?
everywhere. I was doing shows
And
in
look at
theaters.
you.
I was doing shows in St. Louis,
Right.
and which is where they lived.
Right.
So it just reached a point that it was ridiculous. Also, I was 30. I was
Right.
I was close to 30 years old.
Right.
And it just became that for me was like this. Now it's becoming disingenuous. And here's the thing, Judes. I get DMs on Instagram, hundreds of them a day, from little queer
Yes.
teenagers all over the
Same,
world,
yeah.
saying, "How do I come out to
Right.
my parents?" And to them, I say, and I guess it's just my advice. This is what I did. You don't, no matter what the Nazis in our particular LGBT community think or
Right.
say to you, you do not have to come out to anyone until you are ready.
Right.
And when you're ready, you'll know it because you'll know what to say.
Right.
So until then, probably the first thing you want to do is love your fucking self.
Right.
Try to love yourself and put one foot in front of the other and get through life. Meanwhile, Google. Put into a search engine,
we have
gay
Google,
teen.
yes.
Put into a search engine, gay teen support group,
Yes.
Queer community center, all
Message
that stuff.
boards.
Find those places, go to them, and when you know what to say, you're going to know what to say. And that's the way it was for me. I was no longer able to keep up the hypocrisy with my own parents. I
Right.
had to say something.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Now, my father asked me before he died, and I was not
if you
ready.
had just not found the right man. Judy, do you ever
Oh
think
my
that
God! Do you know how many my cousins used to say to these, her in-laws who were so conservative, voted for Pat Buchanan.
Hey.
And she used to, they'd be saying, "Why isn't
I'll go
Judith?
clean that up.
Why? Why is it? I'm getting interrupted every time I talk.
I know, it's
Judy's making
unbelievable.
I know.
evil.
Why?
What is that, like another radio show?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
They have to update their their shit here. Anyway, so my cousin used to say to her, why isn't Judith married? And she would say, because she's too tall and she can't find a guy taller than her. I'm like, that is the fucking word. And 3 of my cousins, 3, they all got married young, and they all got married on Gay Pride Sunday in New York. I was like, fuck you that I have to come to this wedding and fake that, I'm too tall to have a husband. And 2, it's fucking Gay Pride.
Next time, go to the wedding with Peter Dinklage. Just have Peter be your date. He's actually a really funny guy.
Okay.
So I think that if you asked him, he would fucking do it, and it would be a riot.
Okay, I'm doing that.
This is my new man.
After they're over it.
Now, you come out to your parents.
Yeah.
I don't think of you as having any fear. But when I read that story, I see a little girl who's afraid.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you
There
ever
was fear.
Now, do you ever feel that little girl now?
Oh, never. I really don't.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I think my fiance, because every now and then my fiance will go, okay, baby Leah. So I must be doing something that makes her think.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
part.
what the fuck? Where did that come?
Right.
Do you know where that came from, baby Leah?
Right.
Right. So
But she
apparently-
seems very smart.
Well,
and-
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't argue with her. But if you mean, do I feel that little girl and that fear about anything anymore?
Right.
Honestly, it's really funny. But remember the movie Defending Your Life,
Yes.
where they said life was being able to walk through your fears. I really fucking believe that that's what my life has always been about,
Right.
and is about.
Right.
And that was one of the last fears I had to go through.
Right.
Now I have that like horrible fear of clowns that I have to deal with.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Lauren does clown shit but you don't dress up like
Oh,
a
no,
clown.
I
They
don't
creep
do
me
my
the fuck
face.
out.
I do
Creep
kids
me the
parties.
fuck
We
out.
have, I just want to
Ew.
say,
Ew.
we have
I
a
have
very,
that effect on people.
So did John Wayne Gacy. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going to say.
we have besides the fact that we love cannabis and we
You mean pot, marijuana?
Pot
No.
and pussy. I'm sorry, boss.
Oh.
I'm done. I'm fired. I'll fire myself. I'll find you a new assistant right away.
Oh my God. But, we like the cannabis. We enjoy a nice alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
We enjoy performing,
Yes.
reading, knowing, curiosity. We both cherish the word cunt.
Yes, I love the word cunt.
I love
it's my
it.
biggest favorite.
And people will get so annoyed. And
What the fuck is wrong with that?
First of all, I have the cunt hat from the vagina monologues.
I do too, and I
Oh my
wear it.
God, I do it too.
And I wear it.
And
I wear it.
First of all,
And people
it's-
freak out.
I know. It's the perfect word because of the cunt. I mean,
All of
it's
it.
just, you can just say it. And
Yes.
isn't it? You can,
It's great.
And
But you know what I'm
Milton.
doing with it, right? That I'm using it as an adjective, but for good. Like if it's something's really great,
Right.
Or it's like, oh my God, she's so cunt,
Right.
Right?
I say cunty. I say cunty. That's so
I
cunty.
like cunty is great, but
Yeah,
I like
cunty-
actually just saying the word cunt because I just think it's
a great
more
word
in your face.
Yeah.
I love
Okay,
it.
so I just wanted to say thank you for that.
No, I love it.
Um,
And people are always like, and I used to actually do this thing in my act where I'd go, people have issues with the words pussy and cunt. And I would get the audience to reply. I'd say, who likes the word pussy? And they would reply,
Right.
who likes the word cunt? And hardly anyone ever
Do you want to know the word that I?
And then I would say, here,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
right. No, it's okay. And then I would say,
Say it,
to
go
me,
back.
It's only, all right.
Who likes the word pussy?
Who likes the word pussy? And then people would applaud. And then who likes the word cunt? Hardly anybody would applaud. And I said, yeah, to me, it's a matter of degrees. You want to fuck a cunt, but you'd like to get to know a pussy.
I love that.
I know, it's a good joke.
Oh, wait. Tell yourself it's a good. One of my favorite things you've ever done in your life was you were sitting on a subway and someone is preaching.
Oh, this was last November, yeah.
Yes.
I think
it-
calling it preaching is an
okay.
insult to anybody who actually preaches.
Okay, so someone is
Spewing hateful shit about women and gay people in the name of the Bible.
Okay. Now there are my two favorite videos. Are you confronting this guy and Joan Rivers at the airport who's asked about the situation in Israel? You have to see that one.
I haven't seen it, but I bet it's great.
It's fucking phenomenal.
I miss Joan. I love her so much.
Oh my God, I miss her.
I can't even talk about how much I miss her, right?
I cried.
Right? Oh, I
it
cried
was
for
like
2
my mother
days.
died, and then my mother died.
Oh my God, I know. I cried for 2 fucking days.
Yeah, that's someone I wrote this piece for CNN, and it was really about she gave women like us
Absolutely.
the permission to dream, the knowledge that we could do it, the work ethic of, no one has that.
And the ability to say fuck you if they
Right.
weren't giving it to you on their terms. I mean,
Right.
like what happened with the Tonight Show and all that stuff about her. She's amazing.
I know. And I talked to Dick Cavett about the Tonight Show and how Johnny, there were so many guest hosts who went on to, Dick Cavett actually went on to
Yep.
a show that was airing opposite him
Yep.
and still friends. And it was something about her and maybe his idea
mean
of
her
a
vagina?
woman. Well, I think it's
I think it was her vagina.
I do too.
Yeah, it was her pee-pee.
Come on.
Okay. So the guys on the subway,
Yes.
the whole Jesus and this and that.
Here. Okay, here's the thing. I was on my way to work. I was on my way to do Orange. It was very early.
Wait,
in the
you're on
morning.
Orange?
And it was. I was on my way to do Orange, and it was an early call, but not one of my crazy
Right,
early calls.
right.
So I could take the subway. Right.
Right.
So it was about 7:30 in the morning. I'm on my way to Kaufman Astoria Studio. So I take
Right.
the M train all the way in. Right, and lets me off right there. Trying to memorize my lines. In fact, I had like 3 scenes that day. It was just one of those days I had a lot of work.
Right.
So I always memorize it's an hour-long subway ride. So I'm memorizing.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can't memorize unless you're doing it 100 times with the person.
Plus,
but-
they change everything,
Right.
and it just, you know what I mean? You never
Yeah.
It's retarded to
Right.
memorize your lines because they always change.
No, it's mentally
So-
handicapped. You are a lesbian.
Oh,
Go ahead.
whatever. Fuck that shit
All right.
anyway.
I just did a
Okay.
benefit for.
I'm sorry. Did I say retarded? It's
No.
tardo. It's tardo.
Okay, I just did
So-
a benefit at BB King's for mentally retarded adult, and they said, "Can you do? They really want you to do the benefit, but you can't use the word retarded."
I can't even.
And
Okay,
I was
so-
just like, "Ugh, go
Why are
ahead."
you asking
Maybe you
me?
should have hired Suzanne Westenhofer.
Right.
So I'm on the train and I'm trying to memorize lines, and some guy starts blah blah blah, and I don't really listen, but I know it's like. Fuck, I'm trying to memorize my lines, and I just want to be quiet.
It's an assault.
It's 8
Yes.
o'clock in the morning. So, right, it's an assault. I agree. The subways are for sleeping. Oh, no. That's the
Don't sleep in the
1966
subway, darling.
musical
Yeah.
by Comden and Green and Cy
Yes.
Coleman. But subways are transportation. I don't care so much when it's people who are entertaining me. I don't mind the guys flipping around. In fact, I kind of think they're genius.
Right.
I really hate the preaching in any way,
Right.
shape, or form, mostly because not everyone believes that you believe.
Right.
And religious freedom is part of what our country is based on.
Part of?
And well, I'm just part
All
of
of.
one of
Yeah,
the many
yes.
things that our country is based on. So I have an issue with it, but I confront people only when they're assholes.
Right.
So I'm sitting there.
All the
Now, the
time.
first thing I actually hear when he takes my attention is when he says something about the Bible says that women have to be subservient to men. Now, as you know, I went to Catholic school for a long time. It says that nowhere in the
right.
Bible. Nowhere. There might be a passage that you could possibly interpret as that, but nowhere does it literally say women must be subservient
Right.
to men. So I thought, and so I looked up and went, what fucking asshole said that? And I stood up so I could see him. And then
That was
he
out
said-
loud.
That was no, I didn't say it out
That
loud.
was in an inner voice.
Inner voice stood
Who
up.
the fuck said that?
Who
Yeah.
the fuck said that? What asshole said that? And then I looked around, and then he said, "Ugh." Then he said, "The real problem that we have in the world today is homos. Homos, ladies and gentlemen." He literally said the word homo, and then out loud I said, "I'm sorry, did you fucking just say homo? Have you been surrounded by an information-proof shield since the 1950s?" Like that. And nobody sees that because
Right.
nobody was expecting that.
Right.
It was when I said that's when all the cameras went up. And Judy, you know me, you know I've had confrontations with many people on
Right.
the street, but whenever I encounter any kind of racism, sexism, or homophobia, these cameras came up, and I knew then that my life was different, and I had to make the decision.
Wow.
Was I going to let 40 people on the subway train videotape me? And you goddamn fucking right I did. I left 40 people, and you've seen the video.
It's
I let him have it.
Amaze balls.
Yeah,
preach.
the guy who played Frankenfurter, Tom Hewitt, and,
Yes.
and was nominated for a Tony for that, sent me the most beautiful email afterwards, where he just went, thanking me, blah 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 blah. It was so great. But the best thing he says, my favorite line is when you say, "As long as you're talking, sir, I'm talking."
Oh, I love that.
I want that on a T-shirt.
Now,
that's
did
great,
anyone on the subway applaud you, or was it?
I got a standing ovation when I got him off the train.
Oh, I love
When I
that!
chased him off the train. There are many videos, and there is one of the end of it where the guy gets off the train, and as he's getting off the train, he's still talking, so I'm still
Right.
talking. And then as he gets off the train, still talking in the doors, I go, "Oh, thank God!" And as the doors are closing, I went, "Notice I thank God!" And everyone stood up and applauded.
Oh, I love
It was
that.
brilliant. It was brilliant.
Now, you were beaten up at a gay pride
Yep.
parade.
Well, it's the Gay Pride Week in San Francisco.
In San Francisco,
Yeah.
very badly.
Very badly, yeah.
What did that do to you? And you were attacked by a guy, obviously gay. I mean, because no one's that enraged about homos.
I can't speak to that. I was attacked by a guy that came into San Francisco
Obviously
looking for somebody to beat up.
And
The rage was insane.
right.
Or
so,
turned on, that leads to violence sometimes.
I don't know what that is.
I have no
It's
idea
a
what that
sports
is.
show or something. I don't know. Football.
Cricket.
So, what did that do to you? What did that? I mean, because I've been called dyke.
It made me
Yeah.
afraid to take public transportation for about a year. For about a year, because I had to go down into the subway, and the whole thing happened there. So I wasn't exactly a very rich person. I had a day job. I was working as a stand-up comic at night.
Right.
I took cabs a lot and walked a lot because I was just afraid to get on public transportation. And the first time I finally did, I got on a bus, I had a panic attack.
Yeah.
I had a panic attack, and the girl I was with at the time just took me off the bus. So that was the biggest issue. I found myself having to confront racism that I didn't ever have to confront before in my life because he was an African American guy. I found myself if I saw a young African American man, I would cross the street.
Right.
And I had to confront that racism. I had to go, this is ridiculous. You've actually already done this.
Right.
You grew up in a really racist area, and you've already dealt with this.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I had
PTSD.
to forgive myself that was indeed trauma and bullshit. So I mean, that I got over, but I did have to confront it and realize that was happening to me. I know someone who was kidnapped and held captive and raped by a homeless guy for 4 days.
No.
And as a result,
Where did he rape her or him?
I'm
When
sorry.
there was no
It was
home.
a her. It was a her in an abandoned building, as I understand
my
it.
God.
But and then
stuck
let
there?
her go. And yeah, she was kidnapped and held there captive,
that's
and finally
awful.
let her go. And if she sees homeless people anywhere,
Right.
she's-
Of course.
she
Of course.
has to be. We have to cross the street or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Nothing
it was that
personal.
same sort of thing. So those were that was the negative. The positive of it was it made me even more strongly refusing to be invisible, which is like the hashtag I'm using right now. But this was 30 years ago. It made me even more positive that what I was doing was the right thing to do. That people needed to see someone in the media, on television, out on the street.
Right.
You know what I
Like
mean?
Margaret had said,
Exactly.
yes.
They need that person. So I knew even then that would be the flip side of what happened.
Right.
And it also gave me, eventually some fairly decent stand up.
Right. I've often said on the show, I was bullied so much growing up that I would not walk by a schoolyard until I was in my 30s
Craziness.
because I thought, uh-oh.
I'll bet there's a lot of people that feel that way, though,
Yeah.
honestly.
And until I had kids and was forced to be and I'm looking at these boys, who torture. I mean, the girls were very evil too.
Honey,
and
the girls,
boys
I'm
are,
sorry, I feel girls are way more evil
Oh, they
than
are.
little boys.
They are.
I just do.
But the boys were so awful too.
Yeah.
And I realized,
girls
with
are smarter.
my kids really, their friends love me. I mean, I like those boys of that age. And the girl, it's just so fucked up.
Yeah.
Everything is so fucked up in this country.
yeah.
We
We haven't even talked about the health system yet.
Oh, I can't wait. Now, we both did we both actually, and I love this man. Speaking of black men, Arsenio put me on his show.
Yep.
3 or 4 times.
3 times for me.
Yeah, I think it might be 3 for me. I don't remember.
3 times in his last year.
And
actually.
I couldn't get on. Now I wasn't
anything.
I couldn't.
In fact, I could show you the refusal letters.
Oh, it was. She's too Jewish. She's too loud. You know, it was.
You're too loud.
Yeah,
everything for me was. It was just you're too gay. You're too gay. She's too gay. You're too gay.
And when I came out, and I did it on television. My career definitely changed because it was the mid '90s.
Yeah,
and I came out as a gay parent.
Yeah.
Talking about my family as if it was no different than anyone else.
I know, it's great.
And
I know what you did was awesome.
Yeah.
And so you know, it was awesome.
you.
Nobody else had done it before, so that was awesome.
And I was working for
completely different kind of visibility.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it was just because I don't want my kids, you know, I had seen, you know, Rosie hadn't come out yet and she was doing her show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they had a, you know, this TV's hardest working single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of made me sad. Mm-hmm. Knowing that she wasn't a single mom and had to, you know, do this. But I was so proud. I had such great material.
No kidding.
And I had to. And you did the same thing. You were the first out. You know, you said I'm a big dyke on Arsenio in 1993.
Right. And it was the first time anybody talked about being gay on American television.
Right.
Like, I mean, comic-wise, sorry.
That's definitely
the first comic that did that. So
right.
that was...
And then Bob Smith was the first gay.
Well, he was on the Tonight Show.
In 94.
Oh, yeah, 94. So it was like a year later. And actually, Arsenio had Kate Clinton on.
Right.
Between us two.
Right. He was...
And poor Kate, she was like, she came up to me afterwards and she was, I have great respect for you, Lea, because apparently Kate didn't do well. That's all I know, which is shocking, I think. Because Kate, I find to be hilarious.
Well, Kate's hilarious, but not in that audience. I mean, it's so hard to do TV.
See, I think she would have done better on the Tonight Show because she's it's just
or
the kind
PBS
or PBS,
right?
We're referring to the fact that Kate is incredibly political and smart. So generally, yeah.
But you
know, the Arsenio show, when I remembered, it was a party show.
But it was
so
also
my kind of comedy really fit in with the party show.
He loved the outrageous. He loved the outspoken. You know, Letterman. Hi, I'm really smart and I talk like this and I'm sexy.
Will you kiss my hand?
And those were the comics. The female comics.
Yeah.
Hi, I have a really good joke. I have a tag. Thank you so much.
That's why I like the whatever pretty means, like the really pretty ones who are just evilly funny, like Sarah Silverman.
Yeah,
fucking.
I fucking love her.
Oh, I couldn't love her more.
Bonnie McFarlane
is Bonnie McFarlane.
Yeah,
I love Amy. I love Amy.
Who
Schumer.
doesn't love Amy Schumer?
Amy Schumer.
Right. Tina Fey might have been the first one.
Fucking
Amy
Poehler. Oh shit!
Because these bitches, they
Ann
don't
Mira.
care. Ann Mira, always.
Oh my God.
Elaine May. I mean, if we want to go
Elaine
back,
May.
Elaine Boozler.
Well,
you know what I mean.
You know what I loved about
Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin always. But you know, Jane wrote her material.
Right.
That's the thing.
But
that I love about her.
But Anne was, you know, she's in this thing with her husband.
Yeah.
But she's the strong one.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, and it was always like, you know, with, Mike Nichols and Elaine May, she was sort of the quiet and let him, and I don't know. These women who, all right. So.
No, I'm with you on that.
I don't know. I feel like I wish that there was a show like that on again. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yet, I hate doing 6-minute sets on TV. I hate it. I did Ferguson. I didn't do well. I did okay. They never want me back. But I am a club comic. I am someone who has worked in nightclubs since I'm 18, 19 years old.
Right.
And to say to me, okay, you're going to do 4 minutes. And this is exactly what you're going to say. You're going to cut this out. This is the transition.
So hard.
And it's like, oh, you have to do it. and then you really had to do it to sell tickets.
No
or to
kidding.
Get,
no.
And
I
now,
remember it was so hard the first time I did it. It can't be more than 4 minutes and 30 seconds long.
right. And then they come every night for like 2 weeks. You do the set in front of the crowd. Okay, no, we're going to cut this. And it was like, you don't know what the crowd's going to be like in the
Yeah, it's craziness. It's craziness. And, and the other thing is like when they would say that to you on the shows, 4 minutes, 30 seconds, there was no allowing for laughs. Like I didn't get through the first time I was on. I did not get through half
all
of
your
the
material
shit that I wanted to get through.
Which is good.
Well, because, they were really laughing hard.
And when you get that first laugh, you're like,
how am I supposed to watch through this laugh? Yeah.
Because you hate your set before you do it because you've done it 400 times.
Oh, I know. So, and then, for me, it was the very first line was, hello, everybody. My name is Lea Delaria. It's the 1990s. It's hip to be queer, and I'm a big dyke. And they burst into applause. And I was like, hurry the fuck up with that applause.
Right.
God damn it, that's 20 seconds. Fuck me. I was like, I have really funny shit to say, and that wasn't funny. So it's like, you know what I mean? But every time I get a laugh, I'd be like looking over at the time. Right. And it was insane. I never got used to it. And even when we would do the Comedy Central shows where you have to do a 10-minute set.
6, 8, 10.
I never got used to it until I did the very last Comedy Central set, my favorite set ever, when they asked me to do something. And at this point, I was so over them.
Right.
So I went on
and
basically...
we're too elderly for them now.
Well... This was back in the 90s, so it was supposed to be 5 minutes. I don't know what maybe it was 2 drink minimum. I forget which one it was. But I just went on and went. So Comedy Central asked me to come out and perform again, which they've asked me to do, several times because I'm their go-to lesbian. And so here I am. And I didn't know if I wanted to do it again, but then I said to them, okay, you know what? I will do it, but on these conditions. 1, you own this footage. You own it, and you can show it anytime you want, and you do not have to give me a dime for it. And I went on for like 5 minutes. Well, you're a comic. Comics screamed with laughter.
And they were probably...
Never aired it. They must have footage of it, or they could have burned it. Who knows? But
I did a VH1... I don't know if you ever saw this.
Which one? I love the 80s.
See the one? No,
one?
I did VH1 stand-up spotlight, and I was in Pasadena, and there was this couple in the front, and I fucking hated them. And I really try when I'm doing TV to just let it go. But I said I did some joke about I hated her, and I did something about being Jewish, and she made a face or something. And I said to her, do you know what Rosh Hashanah is? And she's like, I'm not Jewish. And I said, oh, it's when your boss doesn't come to work. She got up, walked out.
Nice.
Then the boyfriend's like, what the fuck do I do? He gets up, and I'm like, are you kidding? You're gonna get up. And they aired it. And it was like the first thing. It was like, I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, they're never gonna have me on. They're never gonna have me on. And
that
they aired it.
Brilliant.
And it was like, here's a glimpse of what the fuck happens in a comedy club.
This is called anti-Semitism.
Right.
This is me confronting it. This happened to me at Caroline's. I wish I could attach the name of the comic who said this to this. I was there to support my buddy Kate Rigg, who's a very, very funny stand-up comic. And she was support for the main, and I don't remember who it was, African-American guy, came out.
You don't remember, really?
I don't remember who it was. I don't believe.
Right. Okay.
I mean, if the guy had done anything with his life after that,
right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
Know.
Maybe he did. I don't know, but generally I'm kind of informed. And it was a long time ago. I was in Rocky Horror.
Okay.
In fact, Dick, they did an article in page 6 about it, and Dick talked to me about it the next day, like in the dressing room. But I went to support Kate. I'm sitting there, and this guy goes, it was right after the gay guy won Survivor, right?
Oh, yeah. Richard whatever, Hatch or something.
Something like that. And the first joke was, blah, 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 the gay guy that won Survivor. I mean, everybody's going crazy because he ate a rat. Well, that guy will eat a dick, so like that. Exactly. So I laugh at that. Because I'm a dyke. I would have made that joke. It's pretty funny. But then he goes on and starts talking about why black people are more oppressed than gay people. And he says, because you look at me and you know that I'm black, but you can't tell if a gay person is gay. And I found that incredibly homophobic.
Depends.
And I stood right up and I went, well, I'm a dyke, and if you can't tell I'm a dyke by looking at me, then you must be Ray fucking Charles. So then I'm back and forth with this kid, and frankly, funnier and faster than he is, and I get thrown out of Caroline.
No way! Who threw you out?
And banned. I was banned from Caroline's, and I actually did not go back into Caroline's until the day I went in with you to be on that panel.
No fucking. We did a panel last year for the comedy festival.
I was banned from Caroline's.
Wait,
this was
took you out?
2000.
Who took you out?
You know,
Lewis? No fucking way.
And banned.
Lewis took you out. Wow.
Right?
You stepped out of place.
Unbelievable. So, in other words,
our policy is you can't heckle or something like that.
Oh, really?
And
How
it's
many
like,
times have you been
really?
heckled
Your
there?
policy? Yeah, I've been heckled there 5 million times.
Right. And also,
And and nobody escorted my heckler out. Why was I escorted out? Because I was funnier than the fucking comic on stage.
Right.
And his homophobic fans didn't like that I was funnier and faster than him.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all. Yeah, I do that. I feel that when I.
But all
when
is
I
forgiven
watch,
now.
Right.
But just so you know, that happened to me. It's crazy,
isn't
right?
It's amazing that all's forgiven now that you're on a hit
Jeez.
television show.
Now that I'm on a television show with 60 million viewers,
Right,
and they want me
right.
to come back and perform at the club.
Right. It's unbelievable what's happened to stand up, and it's upsetting. And for all of us who literally had to travel all over the place to shitholes and write and had no phone and no internet and no nothing.
Yeah.
And had to sit there all day with a fucking lump in your throat. What am I going to do? And not have no connection with anyone.
Yep.
And then just for a fucking 45 minutes or an hour on stage. And
For
yet
which you got paid
nothing.
$50.
And it all went to the phone bill. Or alcohol, but when you and these to see these people go, I have a YouTube video and I have 5 million followers, so I'm going to get booked in a club. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. We have to do a little commercial because
Do the commercial.
well, first of all, everyone who's listening has to hear Leah sing. And I Can Cook Too.
That's easy. That's on YouTube.
From On the Town. And it was on that PBS special. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, both of those. The
Yeah.
one that I did on Rosie O'Donnell show is on with Jesse is on there, and the one I did on the PBS special. Both they're all on YouTube.
Okay, that
Just
is
my
on.
name. I Can Cook Too. You can choose whichever one you want.
I don't know how many times I've texted you. I'm on the treadmill.
I'm listening to I Can Cook Too. It makes me laugh so hard. Makes me laugh so hard.
It's on all of it. It's on my. You know how they have most played songs ever?
There you go.
And I Can Cook Too.
The worst is whenever I go into like any of those gay bars when they're having like musical
Right.
Mondays, and they all have musical Mondays now. It's every Monday. If I go into a gay bar, it will be musical Mondays. And the second I step in, they put on the fucking video of me singing that song.
I love it.
It's like, now I'm out. Thank you very much. See you later, boys. And still to this day, people will come up to me. It makes me laugh so hard. To this day, when I'm standing next to Jesse Tyler Ferguson, whenever we're doing up anything, people will come up to me and tell me how great I was in On the Town without a fucking word.
I love it.
The guy's got 5 Emmy nominations.
Right.
He's on the #1 show at ABC. He's a huge star, and they still never say anything to him.
Now, what's your
Love it.
Do you have a
special.
favorite song?
You mean
Composer to sing. What's your favorite song to sing? Yeah, and I know it's not your
One of
favorite.
them. Oh, that's just such a hard question.
I
feel
was
like
gonna
you-
say it's only you can pick one, but I know there's a lot.
I should have raised my hand.
Yes.
really? It's easier for me to say who my favorite composer is.
Okay, go.
And that's Richard Rodgers. I think Richard Rodgers has the best kind of,
I know his daughters.
Cool, but my
Yeah.
favorite song to sing
They're great,
is
yeah.
a Thelonious Monk song,
Right.
Called "Straight No Chaser." That's probably my favorite song to sing. It's just a 12-bar blues that you can have a lot of fun with.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I like all of his stuff. I mean, in terms of the bebop shit, I
Right.
love to sing that. I love to sing this song, "You Needn't." You know, I'm. You know,
And
of
you-
course, it's like how many jazz singers does it take
Right.
to sing round midnight? Apparently, all of them. So I never sing round midnight.
Right.
I never sing My Funny Valentine on
Right.
Valentine's Day. If you want to
Right.
hear that, I'm sure there's 1,000 singers all over town
Right.
doing that. There's certain things that I'm
But
never.
and you
gonna
go
sing.
to Smoke a lot. In
Yeah,
the
in fact,
city.
I'm going to start doing late night Wednesday nights
At Smoke?
At Smoke.
Oh my God, 'cause I
Midnight
live
shows.
right there. Oh my
Midnight shows
God.
on Wednesday
When?
night, Judy's,
When?
and it's the
Starting.
first and the third Wednesday of
I am
every
fucking
month,
there.
starting October. And
Really?
Yeah. In October and November, before December, because it's the Christmas season, I will be doing that album, my new album. The
I Am So Fucking
House
Coming.
of David. Yeah.
May I?
Be there.
Wait,
Be there.
hold
Be
on.
there.
Fan out for 1 second.
Leah, I hear there's a fan here.
Oh, I'll turn that off.
Would you like to take a
Sure,
comment or a question?
I'll take a question from a fan.
Yes.
Okay, this
Yes.
isn't
What's your name?
Hennessy.
Hennessy. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, that's my last name. That's what my friends call me.
Okay.
Okay. I just
That's
wanted
funny.
to
Okay.
say.
How long is this taking? And the minute I
All right, listen. I also have AD Dizzle. Your scatting is some of
Oh.
the best I've ever heard.
Thanks.
You're a fat black woman from the 30s and
Brilliant.
in a smoky. Yeah, that's you're.
That was so racist.
I know.
I am a huge racist. But your scatting is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And on my new record, House of David, which is I have to say, I do Suffragette City with Janice Siegel.
No.
With Janice Siegel from the Manhattan Transfer.
Oh, God.
And we blow over changes together. We scat for a really long time, trading floors.
Oh, my God, I love
it's
that.
Beyond brilliant. I'm
No,
sorry.
I get-
Everyone has
you
to
don't
hear
get
it.
it.
Well,
Just to hear
digitize it
Janice
for you.
Siegel, because she's just ridiculous. And when I did the songbook series at the Lincoln Center, I just did in February, not necessarily love songs.
Yes.
I brought her up to join me in a Richard Rodgers tune. Everything I've got belongs to you. And again, we brought the house down. Janice is a love machine.
We should sing
No.
together. We'd make sweet music. What?
Lauren?
I'm a faggot also.
This is not working.
Oh, God.
Not
All right.
working.
Okay, you know
So
what?
Fired.
I mean, this is probably
Again?
close to the end.
I would say you're fired, but I think Donald Trump might sue me.
Yeah.
You
Now.
know, and he's insane. So
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna-
God! How
Oh,
great!
please
Did you
run
see
him!
my tweet
Please
today?
run him! Please run
I
him!
know.
Please run him! Run him! And let's have Ronald McDonald. Is
Oh,
running
I know.
mate. Yes. Oh,
How
yes,
great
yes,
would
yes.
that be?
Please run Donald Trump. Please run.
How
Donald
do you
Trump.
think he'll
Trump,
get the
Trump.
nom?
Yes, I hope he. Yes.
Oh, so
He's
great.
way out in the head. He's way out ahead. He's going to get the nom.
I know, but it's a year fucking away.
I know
is
he
what
could.
comics
As long
dream
as he
of.
doesn't, get caught standing on a stool to fuck a horse, I think we're okay.
Right. And even if he's on the Ashley Madison account, no one's gonna. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm on the other." What? He's just.
He'll just spin it, and the idiots will believe him.
Right.
I mean, it just shows to me. It proves how far removed from the rest of the universe.
right.
And our nation that these assholes are.
Right.
They think that Donald Trump is going to win for them.
Right.
Oh, my God.
And the things that come out, and they're like women and Latinos.
I know.
Who are like,
Hey,
I
and you
know,
know what
but
he
he
said
should.
about Rosie? He honest to God, honest
That
fucking
was
God.
fucking.
And
That's
the people who
presidential.
laugh, that's presidential material.
And brings it up again.
I
Below the
know.
belt.
Seriously, how do you get to make fun of people when you
That's not-
have
but
that hair?
but how
is it humanly possible that you could stand in front of anyone and make
talk
fun of them when your fucking hair looks like that? Who do you think you're safe? What? Do you also think you're thin? Like
I know.
I'm sorry, you think you're thin? You are a little old fat guy whose head comes down to his eyebrows. Why do you think you have the right to fucking make fun of anybody unless you transplant your brain into Brad Pitt's body? You should fucking shut up.
That was an excellent kill me now moment.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes, I love that.
Maybe he's trans. Trans Brad Pitt.
What do you think of?
I'd like to be trans Brad Pitt.
I know,
'cause then you get to fuck
right?
Angelina Jolie.
You kind of are. No? I mean, you're trans Fonzie.
What? Okay, trans Fonzie. Okay.
All right, that was the first funny thing you said
Yeah.
the whole time I've
Thank
been
you.
here.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks.
You I'm going to give you some things, and because these are kill me now that I feel kill me now.
Okay.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, well, I love Caitlyn and very, very excited and happy for her. And my favorite thing about Caitlyn is how she hasn't really been a part of this community. So she's always saying the wrong thing.
Right.
And trans people are always freaking out. And it just makes me laugh because, as you know, I think trans is the new whiny lesbian.
Right.
So I'm finding it all great.
Right.
I'm really upset about them coming after her for vehicular manslaughter. And I really feel that they're doing it only because she's Caitlyn Jenner.
Really?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I read the thing. It said that she was driving erratically. I don't know. She had some big
Well, remember
trailer.
when it went down. Remember when it went down.
Right.
I mean, I remember when the whole thing went
Right.
down. But I'm not sure they would come after her if she was just, Joe Fuck from the street.
You're
Right.
absolutely right.
I love Joe Fuck.
I know Joe Fuck is a great
And
guy.
just really easygoing.
yeah.
Joe Fuck.
Yeah, nothing like Joe Fuck.
I know. Joe Fuck.
Joe Fuck yo mama.
He what? How happy are you about what?
Oh, I thought that was just the question.
No,
Yeah.
about. I mean, I'm elated. This makes me so happy. I don't know about the Duggars. How fucking I can't. And that they're begging for money. Because who the fuck told them to have 19 kids and now they want fucking money?
Jesus told them to have 19 kids. Jesus
is a sociopath.
Weren't you listening?
I got in so much
Jesus
trouble.
said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Don't you know what that means? That
And they used
means
birth
have 19
control.
kids.
They did use birth control, but then she had a miscarriage and she blamed it on the birth control. And then Jesus.
No,
and
I'm sorry, but if Jesus gave you a baby, Jesus also took it away.
Yeah.
You either believe or you don't believe.
Right.
I'm fucking over that. I hate when people just use God for the most extreme
Right.
shit and then don't make it apply evenly. You must apply it evenly. Don't tell me because of Leviticus that man shall not lie with man.
Right.
If you're eating a pulled pork sandwich in a polyester suit.
Right.
Because Leviticus also says that
Right.
you shouldn't eat swine and you can't mix fibers.
Right.
So done. Okay. There you go.
I love Leah on Kill Me Now. Leah on Kill Me Now. She is the best guest. Yeah, I love. All right.
Need a church.
Do you ever hear that guy that stands there's this guy that stands on Broadway and he stands on a big soapbox. He's a really old guy and he stands literally on a box. He's literally on a wooden box screaming about Jesus. And it's always like really early in the morning
Right.
when you're trying to get your fucking matinee. You're working
Right.
on Broadway. It's Sunday. You're
Right.
getting your Sunday matinee. You're out dancing until 4 o'clock
Right.
in the
You're
morning.
exhausted.
You're fucking exhausted. You're going to take a nap between the matinee and the evening show. Just want to get to work in time. And this asshole is standing there screaming, and he always goes, "Irregardless of what you think."
I love it.
Irregardless of what.
We talked about that with Dick
Oh my
Cavett.
God, he
That's
drives
my
me crazy.
fucking- that was
Finally,
my Kill
one
Me Now
day
yesterday.
Oh my God! Finally, I walked by him and I went, "Irregardless is not a word." Oh, it makes me so
Okay,
crazy.
I have to tell you, because I told Dick Cavett this, I just read an article about irregardless, because I follow dictionary.com.
They are not going to make it a word.
They said it has been a word for 90 years, even though it is a double negative, and people who are into grammar are so fucked. So I'm telling you, when people say irregardless to me, I'm done. I can't. It's like saying you're.
It is not a word. I
Republican.
refuse to believe it is a word.
I don't.
It's like they made ain't a word. Drives
I know.
me fucking insane.
What about selfie and
Okay, but see, I don't have a problem with that because those are new things. So why not
All
make
right,
them
whatever,
words?
I am.
But just because people incorrectly use
Right.
a word, it becomes
and it
a
becomes
word.
ubiquitous, and then that's a word.
I
Yeah.
don't know what ubiquitous means. And sorry, that was my imitation of your audience.
Thank you. I have scholars listening to this.
Your
the
audience
DeVry
wants to be all that.
graduates, right? We're talking
Yes,
about DeVry.
DeVry. So when you go to San Francisco
Yeah.
and you need a sex toy,
Yes. I will be in San Francisco, I have to say, on September 19th
Oh.
at the Regency Ballroom.
Yes.
Doing I think it's Man for All Seasons. No, it's Delightful, Delicious Delaria. That's where I do a lot of Cole Porter
Right,
and
right,
stand-up
right.
comedy. Yeah.
I love that.
so
Regency Ballroom, San
Regency
Francisco,
Ballroom.
September
Regency Ballroom.
19th.
September
Please,
19th.
San
September
Francisco,
19th.
come out for this show.
I think a lot of people
Come
have
out.
come out.
Yeah.
Okay,
In San
so-
Francisco?
Yes. Now listen,
come out and then
I'm
come
in
out.
San Francisco, and I need. You said something.
Yes. So now I think. Wait, I'm looking up. We have a possible sponsor.
But even if we don't, this website, I mean, whatever.
And I love this story. And I mentioned
I know
this.
exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Guess.
I think you want to. I think you want to do something. Go ahead. But
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, I went to San Francisco. I did Feinstein's a few weeks ago. And I met with the CBS people there. And, of course, the gay marketing person who we bonded and went to lunch
Right.
is like, listen, I was walking around the city. Have you heard of Good Vibrations?
Of course.
And I said, yes. And he said, you know, that might be... I
That's
mean,
a
we haven't
perfect
really
sponsor.
discussed it, but I was like talking to you about Good Vibrations before
Right.
the show. And what did you say?
It's the best place to get a vibrator ever. And in fact, you should order off online from them. And by
It's
the way,
goodvibes.com.
and also, I have to talk about their dildos because the dildos and especially the straps that you can buy anywhere else, anywhere in New York, anywhere else, suck big donkey dicks.
Right.
They really cater. This place completely caters to women and the needs of women.
And they're very knowledgeable. I
Yeah.
hate when you go in and you're like, you know, I want, and I'm like, you don't know what I'm fucking talking about. You can tell immediately when they have no idea what the dildos, the vibrator over here, and I don't know what accent this is.
Let's just talk vibrators right now. With all due respect to Sex in the City, I think you're fucked when you talk about the vibrator. There is only one vibrator to own. That is a Hitachi Magic Wand. It is the Mercedes-Benz of vibrators.
Yes, I enjoy that.
It has
On
comes
the
with all the
lower.
attaches. On low, nobody can
Low.
take high.
The high.
I worry about the girls who use
Yeah,
high.
high is like,
I'm
yeah, I
like,
don't know.
girl, I just think that, you know,
I would
maybe you
like
might be
it-
a little desensitized.
I wish it had
and
a-
you should
it-
consider, you know, working on your childhood issues.
But I wish it had like a slide switch. You know?
Oh, so you could slide it up or down or something
that'd
like
be
that.
good, right?
Yeah. I'm perfectly happy on low.
Okay, whatever.
So I'm really good there. You know.
Okay.
Is this the
And
back
it has all
massager?
that stuff. It's the perfect vibrator. And what is
Right.
it everybody talks about? What's the thing that they talk about from Sex and the City? Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it? I don't. It's ridiculous.
Sex.
Yeah, everybody has this vibrator now because of Sex in the City. And it's
Right.
like, dude, it's only one to get. And this is it. Hitachi Magic Wand.
I know.
And get it from
I
Good
agree.
Vibrations.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they have other stuff.
The dildos are amazing. I mean, honestly, if I go anywhere else and try to get a strap or a cock,
I hope my rabbi is listening to
I hope
this.
so too. If I go anywhere else to get a strap or a cock, it's never right. First of all, the cocks always have balls on them, which is just ridiculous. Second of all, the straps they have started doing these what they call Texas 2 straps.
Right.
When the strap goes around your thigh.
Right.
Exactly how does that help me as the person
Right.
wearing the strap?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Wait,
the whole point of fucking a girl with a cock strapped on is to have that strap rub you in the most perfect place while you're fucking her so you can both come. There. Was that too much for your audience?
That was great.
I just want to say, Leah,
I just came.
Your description is. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. And I want to thank all the clergy who are listening and young children. But yes, good vibration.
I am a cocksman, honey.
But you
I am a
can-
very good cocksman.
And I want-
and I'm telling you, Good Vibrations the place
So go to
I've gotten all my stuff from them.
goodvibrations.com. Goodvibrations.
They know this. I've gotten all
It
my
should
stuff
be
from them.
.com.
You heard it here, folks.
Maybe it should be goodvibrations.com.
It's
Yo.
actually goodvibes.com.
Oh, it is?
So you don't
Yeah.
have to spell
sorry,
out
it's
the word.
Good
Goodvibes.com,
Vibes.
y'all. Goodvibes.com.
Now, Leah,
Yes,
before
dear.
we end,
They have a
there's-
men's section too. I just wanted
okay,
to throw
as
that
I
out
was
there.
going on to a new topic, I got interrupted by that other radio
I'm
show.
so crazy the way that happens.
So, these are the two final questions
Yep.
we ask. Number one, what pisses you off the most? It can be anything. It could be someone looking at their phone while you're walking out of the subway.
Well, that works. There are so many things that piss me
Right.
off. I'm
What's
going to
the-
just start, but you want the one thing that pisses
I want
me
the
off?
thing. This is all right. I'll give you a scenario. You're You're
Okay, this is the one thing that pisses me off the
Okay,
most, and I'm just decided. This is the one thing
Okay.
that pisses me off. I am so fucking tired of how sportsmanship doesn't count anymore, and I don't understand how Red Sox fans are always allowed to act like jerks in Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And it's even worse. I was in St. Louis over the weekend. I'm wearing a Yankees cap. Now, I grew up in St. Louis, and I'm also a diehard Cardinals fan. There was a Cardinals game going on. I'm wearing a Yankees cap. I start to get off the elevator, and some guy opens, and he looks at me, and his son's standing right there, and he goes, "Well, that's a what is it? That's a dangerous hat to wear in this town." And I said, "Why? They're not even in the same league. You know, why can't people? I don't understand why suddenly it's okay to be an asshole at sporting events when somebody is rooting for another team. It's one thing to show support of your team. It's another thing to be an asshole. Yankee fans do not go to Fenway Stadium and go, Yankees suck. Yankees suck. You know what I mean? I mean, Red Sox suck.
Right.
Red Sox suck. Why is it okay for Red Sox fans to come to Yankee Stadium and do
now
that?
I
don't think it's right.
I'm going to
even a
agree with
stadium.
you because when Henry was about, I don't know, 10, 11.
And I'm not saying that the Red Sox fans are the only one. That was just
Right.
my two most recent experiences.
I gotcha.
Bad Cardinals fan, bad Red Sox fans. I just don't get it. It's
Okay.
ridiculous. I should be able to root for the Yankees, post it on my feed or whatever, without having to hear you be assholes about
No,
it.
all Red Sox
So-
fans are assholes, though.
Okay. So,
I have some of my best friends are Red Sox fans.
I've got
when
gay
the
friends.
fuck can
too.
I say my thing?
Go, say your thing. Sorry, boss.
So we're in Provincetown. Henry's, I don't know, 10, and he's like, "Can I walk to the general store, which is kind of by my house?"
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, "Can I walk to the general store and get the chocolate chip? They have the chocolate
Yes,
chip
of
cookies
course.
at like 5:00." So he's like, "Can I run it?" So he goes over there, and he is wearing his Yankees hat.
And how old is he?
He's about 10.
Okay.
And he walks in, and this guy says, "Son," or whatever. I don't think you should be walking around Provincetown, Massachusetts, wearing that hat. And he's like a 10-year-old, skinny
I know, it's
little.
crazy.
Are you threatening
And
me?
it was his first outing. I'm going into this general store by myself. He ran home. He just ran as fast as he could. The guy was threatening him, crying. I cried, ran into
bully.
my arms.
Fucking bully.
What an asshole.
Fucking bully. And nobody in New York says anything to a Red Sox fan
Right.
that comes to town.
But it's like if
or
you
a
don't
Blue
give a
Jays
fuck.
fan
Now
or
let me-
whatever, because why should we give a fuck? Does whatever my Red Sox friends always say,
Right.
we hate you. And it's like, don't you hate us? No. Does fire hate wood?
Right.
No. Why would
But
I
the
hate
thing,
you?
Great
but do
answer.
you think if you were wearing a liberal, lesbian, fluidly gender fluid, I don't know, some hat that identified your political leanings, and a guy had a hat, conservative, Republican, no matter,
Right.
would you?
Probably not. I can't imagine why I would. I can't imagine why
Would you
he
say? Would you think?
Would
who do
I
you-
say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. To a conservative Republican who was just wearing a hat?
It's
No.
the hat that says I'm a
Oh, yeah.
conservative Republican.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything to
Do
that
you
guy.
think the conservative Republican would give you a ugh?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's just my
that's
question.
my thing.
All right, that's
no,
a
I just
stupid,
remember once I
ridiculous-
wore, ironically, Jesus on the cross on my hat. This was in the 90s when you wore Jesus ironically, and I had it on my hat, and I flew in to do a gig, and I was in I was in North Carolina, flew into the airport, and some little old lady came up to me and went, "I really like your hat," and I was like, "Oh, thank you, ma'am," and then she said, "Are you a Christian?" Because in my head I
Right.
said, "Thank you, ma'am," and then I went, "Oh, yeah, oh," and then she went, "Are you a Christian?" I went, "No, I'm a Jew." And she goes, "I don't know why anybody who doesn't believe in Jesus wear that hat." And I said, "Because I'm proud of what we did to him."
No way!
I did.
What did she say?
Nothing.
She
She walked away. I knew
Oh
you
my
would love
God,
that.
that is fucking
She prayed for
excellent.
you.
I knew you'd love it. I'm sure she prayed for me. She was a Christian.
This is the final question.
Final question.
Even though Lauren wants to talk about gender issues, but
Oh, no. You mentioned it before the show.
No,
I know, but we gotta go.
It's my job.
I gotta
bring
go.
it up.
I really have
Leah
to go.
has to go to.
Get the. I don't care.
I have an appointment.
We've
Yeah.
spoken.
So this is
It's
the
been so
final
quick.
question.
Shut up, Hennessy.
Exactly. what medications are you on? Now, I will tell you what I'm on.
I'm on so many. Go ahead.
Okay. If you, it's more comfortable for you. I do it every week.
No, it's perfectly all right. I just have to pull them up because I'm on so many.
All right, and I'm going to tell you which ones. I'm going to ding every time I'm on the same one or have taken the same one.
It's not going to be the same one because you and I have different health issues.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, these are antidepressants. You have to do antidepressants.
I don't have antidepressants, but I have tons of medication. Hyoscamine?
No.
Okay.
Wait, none of them are mental health?
None of them.
Okay.
Oh, no, none of them are mental health.
You don't have to do other medications.
Wow.
We do mental health.
Why is it not? I can do all of it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hyoscamine?
No.
Simvastatin?
No.
Almodopiner and benzapril?
No.
And then the classic metformin and Victoza.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, well, I'm a diabetic, so
Right.
when all this whole shit came out with my diabetes, there was all this other crap that was associated with it, and so I take those daily. I'm on so much medication that I feel like some fucking old lady going to Denny's at 5 o'clock in the morning and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to get my early bird special. I
have so many pills.
Yeah.
Now, do you have an AM PM pill box?
An AM PM? No, I do not.
How large is your pill box?
You coming on to me?
I think she is.
I'd like to know how large your pill box is.
Well, the one I wear on my head.
I just got a new pill box.
My hair is doing this weird
I love
thing.
your hair. And this will be our last thought. I got a new pill box because I travel so much. That locks. So you push in a button and it won't open in your bag, your backpack.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I need that one.
Because I don't know how many fucking times.
No, but
I'm
I
like,
just fucking learned a lesson this weekend because I went to visit my family in St. Louis. It was supposed to be a vacation, but instead I decided to visit my family, so now I want to kill myself.
Right. And no antidepressants.
Yeah, no antidepressants. No, sweetie.
Were you ever on antidepressants?
Never been on antidepressants in my life.
Does marijuana count?
Does marijuana? I was going to say, does drinking and marijuana count? I mean, the only antidepressant I'm on is tequila because it's not a depressant. It's an upper. But
I just bought that new Casa Amigos.
Oh, you mean Casa Nobles?
No, there's the George Clooney one.
Oh, he's got a tequila?
Yeah, and it's really good.
No, the reason I went crap like that was because I've been thinking about doing a tequila and now I'm mad. Okay.
No, don't be mad. You think George Clooney people
You're way more dreamy than George Clooney.
Go ahead.
Do it.
No, I went and I decided to stay 2 extra days because the business I needed to come back to New York for wasn't happening.
Right.
And I didn't bring all my medication. I just brought what I needed.
Oh,
for the
yeah,
time
I hate
was
that.
there. So now I know I need to just bring all the bottles.
Right. I do that. I always
anything can happen.
Let me tell you, I always bring extra in case I'm stranded.
I should, or at least bring extra. That's
And
what I
you know
should've done.
what? I go to a local pharmacist, Peter, who I will, because I will not go to like Dwayne Reed's. I will never go to a big store
My local
if there's.
pharmacist is a Rite Aid. I don't have any little pharmacists in my
Okay, well, I have a little, and he will give me, I'm going away, and I they're not going to give me a prescription, and he'll be like, "Here's how long are you going away for?" I literally call there.
Love it.
I call
So
there,
nice.
and they're like, "Peter's Pharmacy," and I'm like,
Nice.
"Hey," and they're like, "Judy." Okay, so
Judy.
I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
I'm on another antidepressant.
And I'm like, how's your kids' education coming along? Because I'm on a new medication. Leah, I can't thank you enough.
Always fun to be here. Judy, I'll come back anytime.
Oh,
Just
please.
shout out anytime.
I will.
I'll come in and sit with, do me with Margaret because I'm desperate to meet
Okay,
her.
I'm going to have Margaret come on.
I'm actually desperate to meet Margaret Smith. I've been I always remember the 2 jokes of hers that I never forget was when her grandmother says to her, "When am I going to be a great grandmother?" And her, "When you do something outstanding." What? And 2, her mom, "Why don't you ever wear lipstick? Because what if I say something really stupid and it's coming out of these big red lips?"
My favorite is like, I bought this shirt the other day. Did you ever hear this one? Bought this shirt the other day. I brought it home, and I realized I didn't really like the shirt. I just liked the song that was playing when I was buying it. It was so
She's so
fucking
funny.
I know. So we love you, Margaret Smith. So what are we plugging? We're plugging Smoke.
Right, which I start
Mondays and
doing the
Wednesdays?
first Wednesday of October. I'll be doing the first and third Wednesdays. Except in November, I'm going to trade, and I'm doing the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because I think people are going to find that a little more interesting. And I'm in San Francisco on September 19th at the Regency Ballroom doing Delightful, Delicious Delaria.
And I heard you're on some show.
Oh, well, yeah. That's that.
Is it
we
a
talking
new
about
show?
Orange is the New Black or Clarence?
Is that on the TV?
Clarence is on MTV. Honestly, Clarence is on MTV. It's a cartoon, and I voice one of the lesbian mothers.
I didn't get a fucking lesbian mother part.
Sorry, honey.
It's all right. If you can't I just be a white collar criminal on Orange is the New Black?
God, can I? You know what? I always want to say that. Can I be a judge on SVU?
I want to be a
SVU.
judge on SVU.
My friend Jenna Stern is. I
Yeah.
want to be a judge on SVU.
Just can I?
And with all due respect to Raul Esparza, who is the DA, and we did Rocky Horror together, and I love him dearly. Why didn't I get that role? Why didn't they hire me and dress me exactly the same way?
Okay, can I just say one thing?
I couldn't
Orange
even
is the
finish
New
it.
Black.
Yes.
They need a fucking Ruth, what should we call it? Madoff character,
Yeah.
like me, to come in, like
Yeah.
some Jap from Long Island.
That would be awesome.
That was
And
Did you just watch the whole Jewish thing that happened season 3? There was a big Jewish.
Yeah, I know.
plotline. I'm sorry. Are you mad about it?
No, I'm fine.
Are you mad that Black Cindy is now a Jew? Or are you
No,
mad that
I
you
don't
didn't get the
care!
rabbi? I love that though.
I was the rabbi on the Big C at her
There
deathbed.
you go. There you go.
Well, I don't know. It's in New
Judy,
York.
it's not
I'm in
like
New
you
York.
don't work. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. You got a podcast. You've been on fucking American television for 20 fucking years.
God
and you're
damn
still
it.
bitching. Honestly, I have to hear it from you and Jackie Hoffman. I can't
Oh,
stand it.
I am not as bad as Jackie Hoffman.
Nobody's as bad as Jackie
Hoffman will be on 3 major shows in 1 week.
And star in a Broadway
star in a
musical.
Broadway, and I'll go to an audition. I'm like, how are you? I cried all morning.
I know they're not going to hire me.
I have
Nobody
no
hires
life.
me.
I'm like,
I
you
got
have,
no life.
I have 1 bathroom.
You are at a hit Broadway musical. You're on 3 major fucking
the
shows.
worst.
I can't even, Jackie. She's on Girls this season. I can't even with her.
I'm going to actually go jump out the window.
When am I
You
going to
know,
be a real
I did
boy?
my Christmas show last year.
Yeah.
And I asked Jackie because she owed me one. Would you come do my Christmas show with me?
Mm-hmm.
So she comes and she does my Christmas show, and we're doing that song, Have You Heard? It's in,
Mm-hmm.
like that. So another Richard Rodgers. So she comes on. Oh no, sorry, Cole Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And so she comes on. I found it. And basically I say, this song is just gossip. So we rewrite it, doing the gossip of the day.
Right.
And then my thing was I sang because it was right after Orange hit, and we didn't get nominated for a Golden Globe or an Emmy Award. And I said that to be an asshole. Jackie Hoffman, the entire cast, and Genji Cohen in the audience, starts going, oh, really? You're not getting enough attention for Orange is the New Black? And it went on for like 10 minutes. I have never laughed so hard in my life.
hilarious.
I mean, the whole place was. She just ripped me a new asshole. I couldn't speak. I was laughing so hard.
That's so funny.
She
is
brought me
fucking hilarious.
She made me fucking silent.
She
I was
makes me
silent.
laugh so much.
She and you probably make me laugh harder than any comics on the planet.
that's
you
a
guys are
compliment.
I fucking can't. I can't stop laughing when you two are on stage. You're really funny
Thank
bitches.
you. Thank you.
I think
Really
you
funny.
all are a roast dream deus.
Well,
That's
you
great.
know what I'm going to do for my wedding? I'm not going to do a dinner. I'm not going to do a rehearsal dinner. I am becoming a member of the Friars Club, and I know that you are as well.
Who's
And,
sponsoring you?
Well, Jeremy Katz.
I sponsored him.
I know.
wow.
So
Can I
you're
be your
like my
second
grandmother.
sponsor?
I think we chose someone. I'm sorry because I'm doing my interview now. But check it out.
You're the godmother.
Check it out. I'm in trouble. You're my godmother. You're in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. At any rate, instead
Judy
of doing
just
a
wrote,
rehearsal
"Fuck
dinner,
you."
I'm going to be doing a roast. Everybody
Can
that's
I?
Yeah, well, you're going to be invited to the wedding.
Oh,
so
yeah, bitches.
Everybody who's invited to the wedding will be able to come to that, and all of people like you.
Oh, I can't. I'm going to start writing right now.
Bernhardt, you,
I gotta
Scott
write.
Thompson, Jessica
writing,
Ferguson,
writing.
Kate Clinton. You know
I'm
what I mean?
writing.
All of my show business friends, will be writers from the show, are going to fucking give it to
Okay,
me.
I'm in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're so in. That's the night before. So that'll be January 7th, 2017.
I'll be in there.
Congratulations, by the way.
Leah, thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Good.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Let's just talk like the waspiest people.
I
we
will.
can possibly
I just want to
talk.
thank Leah.
Well,
It's
thank
such a
you.
delight to have
Thank
you
you.
on the
I'm
show.
so
and
happy
on
to
Kim
have
now.
been here.
Yes. And Lauren, you're going to be on tour, I understand.
Oh, yes, in October. I am traveling around the country
No, that's
with
British.
Keith and
You
the
want to
girl.
do that? You want to do this?
Yeah, you can't move your lips. You can't.
Just don't move this bottom jaw.
No, I
You
just
mustn't
want-
talk about
Yes.
it. No.
People can reach me at judygold.com, and also I'm on Twitter.
Are you? I believe I
yes.
follow you.
I follow you.
I know you do.
And it is Judy Gold, Jewdy. It's just, I don't know why.
I don't know why it says Judy like that.
Yeah.
My
I don't know why it
Twitter.
says Judy like that.
And I will be in the Provincetown for Labor Day weekend, but
Good
this
for
might be
you.
airing afterwards. And also, I just must tell you all that I'll be in Cleveland on September 20th.
Nice.
Yes.
And Toronto.
And Toronto in October for a long run of 25 Questions for a Jewish Mother.
Where in Toronto?
If you haven't seen
Some
it, you really
the
need to
Harold
get out.
Green Theater or
and how will you be there on Halloween? Because I'm there on Halloween. Oh, it would have been so
I'm
perfect.
leaving right before.
Damn it. Would
God
have been so
damn it,
perfect.
shit, fuck.
Follow me on Real Lea Delaria on Instagram and Twitter.
And come see Leah at Smoke because I'll be sitting at the bar.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Or actually, I should get a fucking decent seat.
Get a seat.
All right.
But you got to make reservations there.
Thank you, Leah.
Just saying. Because it's a small joint.
all right.
At Judy's assistant on Twitter, spelled the same
Whatever.
way.
And you're coming back.
Anytime.
I just thank you, Lea Delaria.
Oh, it's so good having you.
And this has been your episode of Kill Me Now. Good night, everybody, and so long.
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.